do over the next 4 years will help you set a course for the rest of your life. It will play a major role in determining your career path and your post-secondary choices, whether that be college, the military, technical school, or the workforce. The harder you work, the more options you will have. Bottom line, high school is challenging, academically, socially, and emotionally. Your Parkland teachers, administrators, and school counselors are here to support you and to mentor you. We are your biggest cheerleaders. High school is going to fly by. It is my hope that you will look back fondly over the next 4 years as 4 of the best years of your life. If you work hard in the classroom, get involved in a wide array of clubs and activities, and open yourself up to trying new things and meeting new people, you will have a great 4 years. To help guide you on the right path, I would like to introduce you to your assigned school counselors. Students with the last names beginning with the letters A through BRN, Mrs. Leslie Paremba. Letters BRO through DES, yours truly, Mr. Eric Roberts. Letters DET through GAQ, Mr. Ryan Humes. Letters GAR through HOK, Mr. Jeremy Gordon. Letters HOL through LAK, Ms. Brynna Witkowski. Letters LAL through MIL, Mrs. Jennifer Tabarani. Letters MIM through PLN, Mrs. Deneen Krenicki. Letters PLO through SCI, Mrs. Meredith McGar. Letters SCJ through THE, Mr. Lee Rosado. And letters THF through Z, Mrs. Christine Thomas. Our career counselor you're very familiar with from Springhouse, or if you went to Springhouse, Mrs. Allison Peak. On behalf of the entire school counseling department, best of luck, class of 2024. This is your time to shine. Seize the day.
Good morning, class of 2024. I'm Mr. Moniz, your principal, and I'd like to officially welcome you to Parkland High School and want you to know that I look forward to starting this unique school year with you. Safe to say this year will certainly present its own set of challenges, but there is one thing that hasn't changed. You are at the beginning of your high school career in a school celebrated for its academic, athletic, and artistic success. What truly makes Parkland High School special, whether it's the COVID era or not, is you, the students, the teachers, the counselors, the administrators, and your parents. We are all committed to your academic and personal growth. In this COVID era, whether online or in person, your teachers are going to provide you with a rigorous academic experience, along with the compassion necessary in such a crucial time in your life. The best advice I want to share with you today is for you to know that your partners and mentors are your classroom teachers. They will challenge and support you, but most importantly, I need you to work with them to create a strong bond based on communication so you can achieve your academic potential. Secondly, with the challenges we are bound to face this year, your efforts to manage your time will be critically important to being successful this year. So when August 31st comes, you are logged into your Schoology account and ready to get to work. Whether at home learning, online, or in a face-to-face session here at the high school, we are committed to providing you with an excellent academic experience. But you must be part of that equation. The high school team of administrators are all here to support you in your academic success. Please know that you can lean on us whenever it is needed. We will send out another video link so you can see and hear from us as we review some general aspects from the Code of Conduct. Your counselors work closely with administration in supporting your social and emotional well-being, and together we will work to ensure that you have the environment to enable your success. Another item of importance is getting involved. Parkland has over 75 clubs or activities for student participation. And while it will be different this year, don't let that discourage you. Participation in clubs and activities leaves lifelong impacts on our students, where they develop valuable team building and leadership traits. I encourage all of you to explore these opportunities and broaden your high school experience. Maybe your big question is, that school is so big, how will I ever find my way around? If you have anxiety about that, let it go. because of the hybrid schedule that we're going to be on, we are only expecting 1/3 of the student population here at one time. No overcrowded hallways, no worries of where I sit in lunch, no panic because everyone is here to help you. Let that go. This is going to go as smoothly as possible for you. I think you're going to be very surprised. Staff members will be available everywhere you go to help you out. We have a video tour of the school that's also going to showcase how the school is all set up for the COVID experience and the different hallways that you're going to transition throughout to make your travel through the high school easier this year than it would be for normal. Your class sizes will be 10 to 15 students. So your teachers will be able to help you out throughout the day. And before you know it, you're going to know your way around this building like you've been here for 3 years. Your challenge this year is to meet the expectations head on. Stay focused on your classwork through all the potential interruptions that we may have, and give Parkland High School your absolute best effort. If you do that, you'll be proud of the results and continue the legacy of Parkland's excellence. I'll see you on August 31st.
Hey guys, I'm Kylie Duff, Senior Class President. With the changes prioritizing student health and for freshmen, a brand new building, I'm sure there is some stress of navigating the school. But don't worry, you'll see that our school is set up in a very simple way. For returning students, there's some adjustments that you'll need to be made aware of. And for new students, we'll be giving you a detailed look of the layout of Parkland High School. Regarding youth safety precautions in the building and classroom setup, here's our principal, Mr. Moniz.
I'm Mr. Moniz, your principal here, and I want to try to walk you through a little bit of what your day would be like, especially if you're coming to school here for the first time and you're coming off of our buses. So the buses drop the students here in the back of the building. You see the tennis courts, it wraps up along the back of the building here, it drops you off, and you pretty much come in one of two places. Right here, I'm standing here with Kylie Duff, your senior class president, and we're between the C and the D wings. So if your bus drops you off here, you walk right up this area, and you walk right into the building. The other area would be between the B and the C wings, or on the other side of the C wing, and it drops you off, and you walk straight into the doors to the back of the school, where you are greeted by an assistant principal. They'll be there every day, so if you have any questions or concerns, especially when you come in on August 31st, we'll help you, we'll point you in the right direction, we'll get you started here in your high school experience.
Now, is there any difference this year than other years with the bus routine?
The bus routine, obviously, when you get on the buses, you're going to be seated in specific areas. When you come off the buses, you're going to come off the bus socially distant method, and you'll be walking up through here in a socially distant method as well. And when you come to the doors in the back here, the doors are actually going to be open. We're propping them open. That's why there's an administrator there. We're going to prop them open so no one has to touch, the high touch areas of the building. We're going to cut down on that so it's a minimum.
Great. Should we take a look inside?
Sure, let's go inside.
Hallways are the main traffic of the building. So what are these red lines for this year?
All right, so this year as you come into the building for social distancing purposes, you have to have some cross traffic here, but we're going to use this red line and everyone is going to stay to the right of the red line. So as we move this way, like as you walk in the building and it's your first day of school, you walk right through here and you stay on the right. And as you see, Kylie and I are keeping our distance and we travel to where we need to go. Well, as we go right here, here's an example. This is one of our one-way hallways. So in this hallway here, you're only going to be traveling in this direction. That way you don't have any people coming at you. And everyone can just walk in a spacious way. We have floor markings there so that everyone can walk down through the building without having a lot of congestion.
So since this is a one-way hallway here, if you had a class here and then your next class was in, say, D113 right over there, how would you go about getting there? You can't just quickly cheat over?
We're going to follow the laws of the hallway traffic, and you definitely have to walk down and around, and as you go through, and you'd swing all the way back around to where you get to D113. Now, the good thing is we're going to have 6 minutes between classes, so kids have a lot of time to manage that movement. And another thing is, this is an odd door, it's an odd number, 115. So even though you have 6 minutes, when we have an odd day, kids are going to get dismissed. on 1, 3, and 5. In an odd class, they're going to leave 1 minute early. So they really even have extra time. And also, it limits the amount of congestion in the building. People are going to get to where they need to be a lot quicker than they think.
And then how will that work with dismissal then at the end of the day?
And dismissal is going to be the same thing. So ordinarily, if it's an odd day, you're going to dismiss instead of at 2:30, you'll dismiss at 2:29, and then you'll head out. And we do have a specific dismissal pattern for students. So if this is the lower D wing, all right, everyone in the lower D wing, when we dismiss, is going to head this way. Okay, and go towards the front of the building, and they're going to lap around just like the way we actually came in, and then they're going to go out to their buses or they're going to go out to their cars. The upstairs D-wing, they're all going to move towards the back of the D-wing here, and they're going to go down the steps, which is actually nice and wide open. So they're going to have multiple ways to go down, get outside, and go to their buses. Now, if they're in the upper D-wing and they drove, or they're getting picked up by a parent, then they'll do the same route, and then they'll come down here and follow this pattern to go outside, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And then also for freshmen, usually their classes are, other than, some of the arts and gym and all, their classes are usually in the D wing. Is that going to be the same this year as it has been other years? Or
yes, that is the same.
Okay.
The overwhelming majority of time that ninth graders are going to spend is going to be right here in the D wing. So their travel is limited, and I would like to think that they would not be stressed about the travel, especially when you're talking about having 1/3 of the student body here, as opposed to having 3,000. We're going to have 1,000. So it's going to be a very different experience. It's going to be a much more personal feel, actually.
Yeah, great. So good things hidden within the bad.
I think you hit the nail on the head.
A lot of people end up having study halls or free periods within their day. Some of the places are more difficult to find. So how do you navigate those areas?
Right. Anything in the C wing, especially if you have the C200 or 210 or 220, anything in the C wing is always right in the middle of the building. So pretty much you can't go wrong. If you're in the middle of the building, you're in the C wing, and you always have hall monitors or teachers out here and will point you in the right direction. Did you ever have a study hall in C200?
I did, actually, freshman year.
Freshman year? Yep. So they're right here, folks, right here in the middle where you see this big rotunda area. That's where you find the large study halls, the C200, 210, and 220.
And if you ever get lost, know that the building's pretty easy. It goes A, B, C, D, E, and 200s are upstairs, 100s are downstairs, so it's pretty easy to navigate once you get the hang of it.
It is pretty fluid. That's very static. I know in some places it's not like that, but here it is. 100s at the first level, 200s at the second. So as you come into the C wing here, okay, obviously on this side I'd be going this way, and Kylie's on that way, going the other way. But these are our earth science classrooms. So the minute you walk into the C wing, your earth science classrooms are on your right, and they're soon to be followed up by the biology classrooms, all on the second floor, all easy to find.
So if you're on the upper level of the school, I know this was something I was a bit scared of when I was a freshman. If you come from the D wing or C or wherever, and you get to the end, you see that the B wing, there's a B203 to 217, and then it just stops, and there's a staircase. But don't fret, because when you go downstairs, that's where all the arts and musical, painting, engineering,
family consumer science.
Yeah, all that will be downstairs, not upstairs.
Yeah, and we'll walk that way right now.
We're here in the A wing, or the opening to the A wing. Can you tell us about some of the either clubs or classes that you can get involved in if you are more of the artsy type of person?
Sure. We've got an incredible music theater program. We have the Performing Arts Club, which kids love to participate in. A lot of them love to be involved with stage crew. There's kids that are obviously very musically and artistically talented as actors. So they're all participating in the A-Wing there. besides the fact that you do music and your band, your orchestra, programs coming out of there, your choral programs. Here we have the art gallery, which is fantastic. This work is actually a graduate. This is Tyler Kreischer's work, and we change it out every month. We bring in a new artist, and we put their work out for everyone to see, and this is Tyler Kreischer's work. The door here is right here at B108. And for any of you that have any concerns, anything that's interfering with your academic or social or emotional growth, feel free to contact the Student Assistance Program. They are tremendous helpers to our students. I know that in the past, we've served up to 300 students a year. So it's a great program, and if you're new to the high school, it's somewhere where you can go and just, let them help be an ear for you so you can process your way through your ninth grade year in case you have anything that comes up that really is, just interfering with what you're trying to do. So as students come into the cafeteria, all right, they'll actually be using the hand sanitizer, cleaning their hands, and then they'll come out into this area where they're going to find a seat. We know that this part of the cafeteria right here is going to be for students that are buying the lunch. And we have spread out areas over here and also in the upper gym areas where students that are packing the lunch will be able to sit. But at all times, you will wear your mask until you sit down to eat. And then when you eat, then you can take your mask off, eat, and then when you're finished eating, we want students to put their mask back on. And that's part of our safety measures in regard to cafeteria.
So for students that are buying, I know a lot of it has been more of a buffet style. How will that be this year?
Right. So all students have to bring their Parkland ID if they're going to be buying a lunch or if they're going to be buying anything from the cafeteria. And that student ID will be swiped. And they'll actually have a scanner, and that's what they're going to use for payment out of your My School Bucks account. The flip side of that is when they go, and normally you wouldn't have the ability to walk around the cafeteria and pick and choose what you want to get. All the meals are pretty much going to be prepackaged. So everything is going to be boxed. So there isn't going to be any, walking around shopping to see what I want to eat. You're going to go, you're going to get food in a box. You're going to go, you're going to pay for it, and then you're going to come back to your seat. And that's very different than what we've experienced. And for those of you that are wondering, where am I going to sit in the cafeteria? Everyone in the school is in the same position you are. But the reality is, you're going to come in the cafeteria and you're going to sit, and you're probably, no one's really going to be sitting with all their friends. It's not really going to be like that this year. But we are going to come in, we're going to sit, we're going to get a chance to eat, take off our mask for a little bit, because that's important to get some air in. And, we got to put the mask back on and get back to our schooling.
All right, so right here is the steps to the gym and pool area. This is actually a one-way as well. How will we be getting up then if this is the down?
Sure, we're going to one-way down here in the front and then get to the locker rooms. And at the end of the period, when students exit, they're going to go to the rear of the E-wing, and there's a big stairwell back there, and they're going to come up through that stairwell and come right back up through this hallway down here. And they're going to come up through here, and this is where that extra 6 minutes really comes in handy. So people are going to have some time to travel as they move up through and they come out of the E-wing into the D-wing.
All right, so how are you able to use the pool this year for gym classes?
No, it's a great question. We talked about that a lot. We know that the class sizes are going to be so much smaller than normal that you can be socially distant and safe while students will be getting changed in the locker room. And we know that when you're in the pool, there's so much space in there that students could exercise, be in there, and also be socially distant. So we felt combined with that, with the chlorine factor killing all the germs, so to speak, we felt it was, a good use of our resources and good exercise for the kids.
Great. I actually do have a question about that too. Since for gym you're supposed to come to school in the clothes you're going to wear, how would you do that for swimming?
Well, for students, they're definitely going to have a suit for swimmers. I mean, we're definitely going to have to do that. So, wear your regular clothing, just pack your swim gear, and be able to get in and out of the pool without issue.
Besides the seating arrangement and getting food, are there any other changes in the cafeteria?
Yes, actually, what we're going to do is when we try to have people that are going to be buying lunch to keep them away from the rest of the crowd per se, students that are maybe eating already and have their mask off, we're going to have the students line up in this area, and there's an entrance down here that we used to use before we restructured. So there's an entrance to the cafeteria right down here. So they're going to go in, pick up their lunch, and then they'll come out to here and they'll sit down. That way the students that are masked in line, okay, are away from the students that are unmasked over here while they're eating.
It may seem like a lot right now, but know that fellow classmates as well as teachers and administrators are here and ready to help you figure it all out. Thank you, Mr. Moniz. I'm excited to see everyone in school soon.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to high school class of 2024. My name is Anastasia Iosu. My partner, Janam Patel, and I are your Student Council Senior Co-Presidents. We are honored to address you as incoming freshmen at today's orientation. We will guide and support you during your journey here at Parkland High School. 3 short years ago, we were in your position awaiting our commencement into high school. Although this is probably not how you expected to be transitioned from middle school to high school, it is still an important moment to prepare you for this next phase of your lives. Normally, we would have the privilege to greet in person. However, under such unusual circumstances of the quote-unquote second worst pandemic in U.S. history, we no longer have that availability. Whether you believe it or not, you are currently living through history. We would definitely prefer to return to our previous normal, but we prioritize your health and safety. Your well-being is just as important as your education. We are now entering a new normal of virtual reality. I personally like to look at it where there is a change, there's a chance. A chance for your future. You may not have physical experiences anymore, but you always have mental experience. Maybe, just maybe, you won't have to worry about the dreadful broken lockers, hall passes, ever again. Is that so bad? You'll be particularly thankful when you don't have lingering muscle pains from the heavy baggage carried around from class to class. Likewise, Mother Nature is going to be very grateful that we efficiently utilize our resources to decrease pollution waste. I know it seems especially unfair that you won't be able to attend football games yet, but on a positive note, the freshmen just sit at the back of the bleachers, so trust me when I say that you're not fully missing out. It seems difficult to move forward with uncertainty, but we've actually been doing that for as long as you can remember. We can't control outside factors, we can only control ourselves. Your staff and peers will ensure that you gain an abundance of knowledge and wisdom needed to fulfill your dreams. I guarantee that in the midst of education, you'll learn something new about yourself in the process. For me, I benefited from vulnerability. I struggled with social anxiety, but once I stepped outside my comfort zone and I developed a new level of comfort. I have gained leadership skills that have gotten me to where I am today. I am now mastering public speaking and I continue to broaden my horizons. I am confident that when you stay true to yourself while also leaving space for growth, you will reach a state of contentment with not only yourself, but with others. It is completely true that you will never have to sacrifice your dignity for your destiny. You achieve so much more when you proudly embrace your true colors. As the old saying goes, nobody can make you happy until you're happy with yourself. You will eventually open doors that you didn't even know existed. With that, it is crucial to acknowledge the many temptations you will be presented with so that you understand the importance of self-control. When life brings you lemons, you don't necessarily have to make lemonade. There are plenty of other ways to utilize the lemons. In fact, you could simply appreciate the lemons for what they are. This correlates to the choices you would make online. They will certainly have repercussions, especially more so than in public because there is no option to rebound. My point is that there is a wide range of accessibilities through the internet. You will still be able to make the most of high school with a few adjustments. Everyone fantasizes over the typical stereotypes of high school where cliques are formed. Whether you plan to become an athletic jock or theater star, or possibly both, there is a place for you. Some of you may still be pondering your interests, and that is completely fine. The most popular surgeon Fisk Jory said it best, just keep swimming. There is no pressure to rush into those lifetime decisions of adulthood. These next 4 years are a time to responsibly explore and experiment. You will have some of the most memorable moments of your teenage years right here on this campus. In case you're overwhelmed, let me share the biggest secret to survival. The qualities of adaptability and resiliency will swiftly take you through the rest of your life. Your behaviors, actions, and mindset will determine your fate. From here on out, it is left to you to make the right choices, pun intended. The best advice I was ever given came from my senior mentors. They encouraged me to get involved, and after 3 years of countless experiences and opportunities, I encourage you to do the same. Take advantage of the programs we offer. Even if you have the slightest interest in a particular field of study, I advise you to try it out. This is a fresh setting for you to build your character and find your identity. Surround yourself with good energy, people who uplift you, activities that you enjoy, and environments where you feel comfortable. You will be most successful with those standards. Know your worth and never settle for less than you deserve. We don't know what the future holds, we do know who holds the future. I assure you that no matter what life challenges you with, you will be able to overcome it. Your potential is endless. Go do what you were created to do. Stay strong, be kind, and take care of one another. On behalf of the Student Council, we wish you good luck in this new chapter of your life. It is my pleasure to introduce you to your fellow student leader, Janam Patel.
Good morning, class of 2024. My name is Janam Patel. With all these activities you'll be participating in and classes you'll be taking, it's important to note that while you should have fun, you should also stay focused. Be sure to listen to the PMN announcements every day to stay updated on the clubs and school events that are going on. Become best friends with your student planner. I strongly encourage you to write down all the assignments and keep track of what homework and projects are due. For me, the number one piece of advice I would give is do not procrastinate. It's an extremely terrible habit and it's hard to get a good night's sleep. On a more positive note, while it is important to stay on top of your schoolwork, you should also develop a balance and make time to hang out with your friends. You're going to have to work hard in class to put in the effort to get the grades you want, but it is also important to have a vibrant social life. Sometimes hanging out with friends once in a while on the weekends or joining clubs together will improve your mental health and keep you away from a lot of stress that you might face in school. Of course, school is the number one priority, but remember, you're going to have fun in high school. Parkland High School is a perfect place for new opportunities, so take advantage of them. In the next 4 years, you're going to meet amazing teachers and other staff members, and you will meet some of your best friends you'll ever have. You will only get high school once, so why not make the best of it? As Mark Twain said, 20 years from now, you will be more disappointed by the things you didn't do than by the things you did do. So throw off the bow lines, sail away from the safe harbor, catch the trade winds in your sails. Explore, dream, discover. It all starts now, so seize as many opportunities that you can. And on behalf of Student Council and the rest of the student body, welcome class of 2024.